Welcome once again, folks, to another session of Let's Chat with me, Meor Addelan. We're going to be talking about politics, but not the way that you think that we are, because we are going to be associating politics with social media. People have been using social media to their own advantage to make sure that they get their message out there, they get their expressions, their impressions and whatnot, trying to convince and trying to gain as much trust as they can. And to discuss more about today's topic, which is social media and politics, I have a very special guest who is a social media enthusiast, Mr. Syed. Khalid. Assalamualaikum, Khalid. How are you?
Waalaikumsalam.
There's no denying the fact, as I mentioned earlier, social media has played such an important role in today's politics, not just in our lives per day. We don't just upload pictures of cats anymore, but politicians actually do use social media very, very extensively in their own world. Now, would you mind sharing your thoughts on this and how social media has played its part in the politic games?
Malaysia has always been a country where not only the leaders are interested in politics, but it also been due course by our people. We are always want to be the latest in the know. You know, every Malaysian would want to be the person who has the hot news, carrying the one who shares. So it has come to a point young we are arguing with each other on social media as well. But I am seeing that although you can see that there are a lot of heated debates, but honestly, as a social media analyst, and I've been seeing the trends, you can see some sort of political and also online maturity. We are becoming more and more savvy through the years. And when you say using social media as a platform, it serves a few functions. Social media ni dia mungkin it's a news source base. That's one. People now rely on it as news, as you are Bernama, so as a news source. And secondly, it's a platform for communicate intimate messages through open and closed networks. Open networks mean networks that you can see, and closed like WhatsApp networks, which are closed, which are not available to everyone. So, but the thing is, what we are seeing right now is everything is moving so fast because of the internet. You know, cultures are moving, are developing so fast. You know, things are changing so fast. The arguments back and forth. It used to be last time a little bit sociology. Cultures change. It takes a lot of time, and one of the measures, one of the things that can make changes in cultures, the level of gossip. When people gossip, when we gossip about bad things, that's usually to set our level of moral standard. So when people talk about that, our moral standard changes with the level of gossip. So with the internet, we gossip more and more, and that's why we our cultures change so fast. If you notice, there's been a change. You know, the good side has been the not so good side. The bad side change and become the good side again. So it's a change of roles, and ultimately there is no one person that is ultimately good, and there is no one entity that is ultimately evil. That is my opinion. Everybody and everything should be judged for their independent actions. But in order to be judged, it's difficult right now to make your decisions, and because everything is moving so fast, you know, the one moment you get this news. So it's about timing. Timing is very important in Malaysia. But
because the way that you explained it, Khalid, the way that you explained it, it sounds so intricate. It sounds so complicated.
Yes.
And it is actually one of the reasons why how social media being used in politics has boomed so much was because of what happened back in 2016 during the US presidential election, where there was this huge commotion, there was this huge conspiracy, there was this huge debate, or even problems that they had because of the fact that social media was used wrongly in that sense. Now, was it really used wrongly, or was this just politicians being smart and utilizing the tools that they have, you think?
Yeah, I would think that my opinion, and this is my opinion, not on base not evidential, but based on my experience and what I see, is that there is not enough evidence to say Cambridge Analytica has made Trump won per se. You know, it's been a very long quiet after that. You know, there was even a movie about that leading up to that. But until now, we're not hearing anything. So there is a lot of suspicious, and that depends on the trust level as well. Do you trust the current government? Do you trust Hillary Clinton's side? Do you trust the Democrat or Liberal? So it's also about can you really just make people vote for a party or a person based on certain postings on social media? Is that even possible? I would like to know. And I think big corporations are willing to spend a lot of money to do that. But at this point, at this juncture, I don't think that it's really like easy. Okay, let's influence this team. Okay, I have 5 million ringgit and I'm gonna like buy a lot of advertising time on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and I'm going to win. No, it's not easy like that, because people have to understand that the human mind is very complex as well, and it can detect a lot of things which machines cannot. Even I've been doing social media, and machines cannot detect the simplest things, such as sarcasm, such as double negatives in our language. They can't detect. So our mind are very complex. We don't make a decision like that. A lot of things goes in. So it's not that easy, but it's possible. All right, now
Yeah,
go
you say that it's possible because you know why? Because we've been, as you mentioned, there were movies that made out of it. There were also
Yeah,
documentaries that has been shown to the whole world how these things could actually affect one certain decision making and
yeah.
whatnot. But does that also show, or does that also tell that we people, human beings, are that gullible, are that easily influenced by just what they see on the screen? Is it because we're just naive that we don't want to listen to anybody else? We just believe whatever it is that is, 4 inches on our face and everything, and that's it, full stop. What do you think?
This is, I think the advances has not only got on the technological the area, not only on the tech part, but also on the psychological. We are having a better understanding of what our neurons are like, how we think, how we are affected, how we make decisions. And social media, for me, is an interesting platform where you can see what people share and how anger. A certain demographics reacts to anger, so it's very different. It is possible, but you have to take a lot of individual effort, because it depends on you at that time, at what with what emotion. So in order to influence me, you have to know what I'm feeling now, what I like, what I don't like, what my personality. And even personality right now is not brick and mortar where I am this category. You can't, because people change all the time. So there's a lot of complexities, and this is the fun bit. There is a lot things to play, but the most interesting thing right now is the Trump. I would say the more that you hate something, the more that it will grow back and hit into you. The cancel culture. This is the new stuff that is happening right now.
The
Yeah.
the algorithm or the technology
Mm.
behind it has never been 100% proven, but nevertheless, if you're able to actually raise that percentage up to even maybe 60% or 65,
Yes.
70% even, that's a bit of a
That's
success. That's
crazy.
a high
That's
success,
crazy.
isn't it?
If
I
you
mean,
are able to take it, yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, people would spend millions of dollars, millions of ringgit,
Yep.
just to make sure that you have a higher probability of winning,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah, because right now you have more data. You are able to store more data like gigs. Last time it was we were carrying diskettes like what 24 megs. Now it's like I got a terabyte in my pocket. It's crazy. You got like a whole the whole 20 years of movies in your pocket. It's crazy. The amount of data that you can extract is crazy. So, but what you can do with that data is more important. How do you use that data, right? And to understand this, you must not only have the tech aspect, you must also have the human emotional aspect. You must understand. So fortunately, there is not one evil genius yang understand everything at one go. So that's where we are lucky. But if that person comes around, be very careful.
Yeah. I thank God every day because the fact that there's no one particular person who's able to actually do this, but I am not really certain that I mean, like, the time will come, unfortunately, I think, where we will cross that threshold. Coming
Mhm.
back to, let's just talk about Malaysia, for instance, because
Okay.
again, Malaysian politics is definitely closer to us. We understand it more, at least
Yeah.
because it's it's in our backyard, and we
Yeah.
consume it every single day via masses, via medias and social medias and whatnot and everything. How do you think that the social media has improved or make the political scene in Malaysia better or for worse? What do you think? Has it been good?
Honestly, I try to compare with other countries, and if you compare to Philippines and Indonesia, we are still within the manageable level. You know, there are not so many bots around. For example, that is a very good thing. If you go to Indonesia or in Philippines. In Philippines, especially the current government right now is using a lot of bots. Where last 3 years, I was surprised to find out Philippines has been the highest user of social media in the region, and I don't think so because I was looking at my friends, asking them their habits, and it doesn't correlate. But that data was extracted from a lot of government sanctioned bots that were used at that time. So, but once the people read about it, it disappears just like that. That's crazy. And in Indonesia, it's even cheaper. You can for around 3,000 ringgit, you can have like Facebook pages that is tailored to you and saying everything good about you. And you can have a woman saying that you are good to woman candidate. They are so intense in that side. They're already organized for any election. Like they are going to have their poll press, I think, next year, and people are already starting from now. It's that competitive. But this technology is easily available because they are just our neighbors. So that's the scary bit. But we should get ourselves up to speed with social media, and that's what's more important, I guess, for Malaysians.
Yeah, but that's the funny thing, though. I mean, when you tell us all of the stories, it's very scary. I mean, as a citizen, as a Malaysian, does that mean that me as a Malaysian or any other registered voters out there, should we just like turn off our phones, like discontinue our internet and just go cold turkey because we don't want to be bombarded by all of this fake news? You think?
That's why. The only way we can go through this is becoming more aware what are the dangers, But basically, I'd say that it's like having a kid. I have children, and it's dangerous to have a swimming pool outside. But I understand that they must learn how to swim. But they must understand the dangers of the swimming pool and how to swim or in the sea. What are the threats they are? So rather than not have them swim at all, I'd rather have knowing how to swim. Social media is, especially in pandemic times right now, is a critical factor. It's the only bit, I think, making me feel still alive. And talking to you right now, it brings a lot of joy. So the danger is there, but that's where we have to become more human and learn and understand the risk and navigate this together, I guess. Yeah.
It's all about being disciplined and being taught the proper way in conducting oneself using all of this platform, all of the tools that we have all around us, and making sure that we are responsible users and making sure that we do the right things and not do anything which is not good at the end of the day. One last thing, Khalid, I heard that you actually have a podcast coming out. Should our viewers want to catch you, where can they find you?
Just Google kasih dia cendol. It's a everyday thing. It's something to cool you down because people are always arguing online. So I put Spotify on YouTube. You can search cendol and I will come up. So kasih dia cendol is just talking. If you like to talk anything, I invite you. You can come. Everybody has a story to tell. I invite anyone or everyone. Just come because I have time right now. So just come and let's talk rather than argue.
All right, lovely, great. Syed Khalid, our resident social media enthusiast. Thank you so much for coming onto the show.
Thank you, Meor.
Really insightful, and I hope that all of us, at least Malaysians, do take whatever it is that you have mentioned, and just at the end of the day, I guess the message is be responsible and be proper and be a true Malaysian.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Khalid.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, that was Syed Khalid, guys, talking to us about how social media has definitely influenced the world of politics, and it can definitely be used for the goodness of things. But we also need to be wary. We also need to be proper. We also need to guard ourselves should we come across any fake news. If you do not know the source of the news, do not spread it, guys. It is your responsibility as not just a Malaysian, as a human being as well. Thank you so much for coming onto the show, guys, and hope to see you guys again on the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.